Okay, we're going to start with the next session, and that is getting started. So now go to page 27 through 29, your goals and tips. Now remember, I'm sharing with you how I did things. But we have some experts in the audience that can enhance. And we will have a question and answer session after this session. So get your questions answered, as many as we can within the time. Okay. When the authors was up here, they were talking about their book. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my table. For years, over a period of about 16 years, I would get positive things given to me, or I would hear positive quotes and things, and I would just take them and put them in a box. But in 1981, I began to go downhill, in my opinion. And God led me from Oklahoma City to Enid, Oklahoma, to take care of my mother because I had lost my dad. She had never driven a car in her life, and she was just kind of lost. So I followed his instructions, and I left my home here, my husband, my children, and took my mother back to Enid because she was living with me and my husband, and then she was going to live 6 months with another sister and 6 months with another brother, and she wasn't happy at all. And God told me to take her home. I followed his instructions. I packed her up. I got on Highway 81 and headed north to Enid. On the way, he said to me, as I was driving, in the right lane, he says, "B, I want you to change to the left lane. And I don't want you to look back." You know, when you're driving, you do not change lanes until you glance through the mirror to see what's coming. I said, "Oh no, God, I can't do that." He said, "Trust me." I drove for a little bit, and I said, "Okay." I changed lanes without looking back. He told me, "And don't you look back." While I was in Enid, taking care of her, my bank account went down. I had no money, but I had a brother named Louis Tolliver. And he drank a lot. But we knew the streets in Enid. We grew up, we had a good time. And he would get drunk. And people would call me, "B, the police picked Joe up. He's in jail." He'd get out of jail. He'd come back with me and Mother. He was supposed to be taking care of Mother with me, right? But I'm having to take care of her. I'm telling you this for a reason, because people have said they don't want to write their life story. If I don't get another point over to you today, the worst thing that has happened in your life, if you will use it to God's glory, that's where your little bitty blessing is. Let me continue. So I'm there taking care of my mother. I'm used to being busy. I was like Lucinda. I had my little pity party. Then God spoke to me and he said, you get out into the community and you work and you help somebody else. Well, like I said, my money had run out. But I had this brother that would get up and walk in the morning. He would get a plastic bag and he would start walking and he would pick up cans as he was walking. He would pick up so many cans, then he would go sell them. Hallelujah. And one morning, I got up and started walking with him. I gained so much weight. I started picking up cans. And it got to the point where this one particular day, he wasn't around, and I needed some food. I was hungry. I got up and started walking. I would meet people. I say, hi, how you doing? Just laughing. Oh, how you doing? Oh, fine, I'm just walking on holy ground. Well, come walk at my business. I want you to walk on my business so it can be holy ground. And I would pick up cans. Got to know the people in the community. I would pick up cans. But this particular day, I picked up enough cans, and I was walking because Connie, which is the name of my car at the time, was in the hospital. So I had to walk. So I walked to Goodwill, from my house to Goodwill, and the place to sell the cans was behind Goodwill. So I sold the cans, and I walked all the way back to United Grocery Store after selling the cans for $2.10. I went in that store, I bought me a blade steak, a potato, and an onion for 10 cents. The best meal I have had in my life. I have not tasted that delicious meal since then. So what I'm telling you, whatever your heart tells you to say, if you say you trust God, then trust Him. So while I was there, I had nothing to do. I went and got all of my stuff, and I wrote my first book, Simply Me, period. I didn't know what the title was going to be in the beginning, but about middle ways through there, it came to me, Simply Me, period. And that's why that period doesn't tell me nothing. I know what I'm talking about, period. Then, I couldn't get the publisher again because he got sick. And I wanted to say some more. So I went, I don't know how I came about this book, but I read it. And I got all those things together, and I said, I can self-publish this myself. And I went through the procedure, and I self-published this book, and I just named it Simply Me, period, continued. I'm telling you the tools that I use. Now, I didn't have a computer, and I did not have a tape recorder. A lot of the things that you have now, the DVD, I have one of those little bitty tape recorders, and as I would drive back and forth from home, I would tape record notes that I wanted to say in my book. Then it advanced up to this type of tape. All of these are my life story, just notes. But I was able to put this book together. Then, after I'd done about 9 drafts, I was ready to publish. And by the way, the book you're holding in your hand is 5 drafts before it got to completion, and a DVD draft with my 2 coaches to help me say what God wanted me to say, and that was Nawasa Hooks and Thomasina Morton Johnson. They came to my house. I had them come out there. Wasn't a bit more organized, but I knew what I wanted. Set them down there, put the camera on, and start talking. And you know, we talked. Because I just let them know what I was trying to do, and they helped me with that. What else? kind of how I come about. Those are the tools that I use. But I read, and I read, and I read. So now if you go to your book, where I'm giving you the tools, it's telling you the books that I read. So, just to let you know, this might help you. The tools for developing the vision, mission, goals, and action plan. I read across the book, Think and Grow Rich, and I read and studied it. And it has in there 6 steps, and I followed those steps and wrote my goal down. And then the other one was setting the goal plan, the law of direction. I found it in the 100 Absolutely Unbreakable Laws of Success by Brian Tracy. And this is in your supplement because this is why I wanted to do this, so that you, when you go home, like I said, if you will read and study, you can get your book done. On page 28, these are the books that I read. How to Write Your Life Story of Your Life, that's the one I just talked about. And then